something. Ooh, I have a good pose for her. I don't know if this pose is appropriate, though. I'm gonna go for an extreme type of pose. We'll see how it goes. Because it rhymes. So this is what I mean when you start drawing, things have to look ugly. You know, this right now is just like a bunch of nonsense, but hopefully it'll work out the way I want it, the way I'm envisioning it, you know? I have a good idea of what I want to do with this character. Damn, I never get tired of this soundtrack. Oof. By the way, guys, I'm going to be coloring something for my old boss. Hopefully it'll come out cool, and then I can show you guys my coloring skills. Like how I coloring someone else's stuff, you know? But he's a traditional comic artist. Well, not traditional in a bad way, but he has that really cool like comic style down. So it's like a picture of Poison Ivy, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's good enough that he can use. If not... oh well. I tried. The pose isn't appropriate, do it. Okay, gotcha. I guess the one thing that I worry about when I draw art for something I'm not familiar with is just drawing a pose that's what I mean by appropriate is like, is this something that, you know, the character does, right? I mean, it's just like, you know, some characters are super, like, you know, stoic and don't move around much, and some of them are really flexible. She looks flexible to me. That's why I kind of wanted to give her this pose. But we'll see if it works. It's already starting to fall apart. Might exaggerate her limbs a bit. I kind of want to have her arms crossed in front of her. Sometimes you have to do the pose yourself. I do that a lot on my own. I tend to not do it on stream because I'm pretty self-conscious, but... like, some people go like, what do you do for reference? What do you do for all that stuff? It's like, well, you could always look it up. Or you could always just try to do it yourself, get a feel for it, do it in the mirror. If someone's with you, you do the pose and have someone take a picture of you. If you could do it in a selfie mode, do it. You know? Now that you have sort of process identified, do you still find time to meander through different styles? Kind of rip-rad. I mean, this was sort of a little like experiment with it, but to be honest, the only time I ever experiment out of my styles is when I really feel like it, or if it's like meant for a particular like work piece, you know. Not too long ago, I can't release this image because it's under NDA, but I had to work on something that was reminiscent of. I had to like work under something that was under the art style of a very popular app game, right? I don't even think I could say what it was, but because of that, you know, it's just like, you know, they ask, can you do the style? I always say yes. I'm like, we could do a couple tests if you want to make sure. So that's pretty much the only time when I kind of can find time to experiment it. I mean, there are some times where I'm sketching, I tend to go for that kind of droopy, like kind of chibi look. You know, that kind of stuff, just like I like drawing it because it's just, you know, it's just fun for me. But I always feel like if I change up my style too much, no one's really gonna dig it too. So it's just like, well, I feel like I'm kind of known for people that are familiar with my gallery. I'm kind of known for like the more kind of mature looking women. I kind of have a hard time drawing girls as cute as I used to. I mean, it feels like that, you know? I'm not saying I was ever the best at drawing cute girls, but... like, it's hard for me to draw the anime style that I want to, you know? This is a... This is a Dark Elder Witch, yes. You got it, Fifth Son. And Nurgle commissioned me for this, so... So I'm trying to make a, like, a cool, like... I'm trying to make her look cool. This is like the best song in Final Fantasy VIII. People are missing out on Man with the Machine Gun. Alright. Sometimes you gotta want to go in and do those details. Alrighty. Gonna make her torso longer. That's usually what I like to see in my which is weird because I was drawing this girl all short and stocky. This one I purposely want to give her a longer waist. Really bend her back. Put a huge dent on her spine. I don't know, to me it creates tension and I like that. I think I change my style every image. Maybe they'll eventually merge together into one. I suppose it's kudos to you then. I guess at that stage. Well, thanks, Sissan. It makes me feel a little more reassured. That's how I always feel when it's like, if I'm drawing something I don't know completely. I mean, she looks awesome. Like, she doesn't look like a subject matter I wouldn't draw, but because I'm not, like, super familiar with the lore, I always hope that when I draw a character like that, it's, you know, people see it's like, oh, I get it. Like, if I've never drawn Chun-Li before, I hope people know I'm drawing Chun-Li, you know? I've drawn Chun-Li before. How do you guys like the new Street Fighter character? Not Milia Rage. I'm just kidding. She looks cool. If it wasn't for Milia having a hat and long blonde hair and similar silhouette, I wouldn't be making that assumption. Eldar are aliens. They're tall and lanky. Oh, okay, good. Then I should make her even taller. She has, like, Navi proportions. Hey, Poglin. How's it going? So I can make her legs super tall. Super long. Alright. Again, one finger out. Different from the rest. By the way, I watched Prometheus again. Did anybody like that movie? I didn't really like it. But watching it again after not seeing it for a while, I thought it was actually pretty decent. I think I just didn't know what to expect from it, so I kind of would, when it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, I rejected it completely. But, it's pretty cool. It wasn't as confusing watching it again. I remember that was one of my biggest gripes with it. I thought it was confusing as hell. But, yeah. I like a lot of it, but it has its flaws. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, it's a good think piece, you know? It's just like, I feel like it was something meant to question about, you know, existence. That's what I kind of got from that movie watching it again. Like, this movie kind of questions existence, like the significance of it all, you know? Like, is there any significance? You know, were we blah blah blah? Like, I'm still not exactly sure what it's supposed to literally mean, but I feel like that's the point. It's not supposed to be a clear-cut answer. I mean, it still looks cool. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put one hand up here, holding the knife, and the other up here, holding the gun. I think that'll work out. I still get that weird action lines that I want, but I don't start covering up the goods. Because if you don't see any of those, what's the point? What's the point in drawing a lady if you can't see her boobies? And I do mean that. I'm not even playing. I'm really weird when it comes to that. I'm always like, yeah, draw what you like, blah, blah, blah. But I'm very selective with what I actually like, you know? It's just like, people always draw what you like, you know? But if you want me to like what you're drawing, if my opinion matters to you, certain things that I like and I don't like if they're fucked with. One is drawing a character intentionally looking like another gender, unless there's a specific reason, right? I don't know why. I have no idea why it bothers me. When people like, it's just like, oh, well, she wants to be a boy or something. Like, I like the way it was done Persona 4, you know, with one of the characters. I don't want to spoil it if anyone hasn't played that game yet. But for some reason, it's always just kind of weird when people go like, yeah, it's just like, she's just dressed like this because whatever. And it's just like, well, why? It's just like, when I was a tomboy, I expressly liked dressing like a guy because, you know, I didn't feel like a girl. Obviously, your character doesn't feel like a girl. I don't know. It's just me nitpicking about stuff. Never mind, forget what I said. It's okay to have characters that aren't overtly sexual or overtly feminine, but at the same time, visually, it's hard for that to be visually appealing for me, right? Because usually when I see people go, I'm gonna do like a more realistic take on Tomb Raider, like with the Tomb Raider remake. I didn't like how Lara Croft looked at first, because to me, she just didn't look iconic, right? She was just wearing like a tank top and some cargo pants tucked in shoes, right? And definitely, it's way more practical than her short shorts, her midriff tank top and stuff. But I don't know, like, I still feel like her classic look is more iconic than her current look, and even though I ended up liking it, it just didn't have like that wow factor to me that the original did, even though it was just something as simple as hot pants and a tank top. So, I guess what I'm saying is like, I think a good example of it would be Hildegard from Soul Calibur. She's pretty much covered up from head to toe, but because her design is so cool, I didn't care, right? I kind of just don't like it when it's just like, you have this character that you could be fashionable with, why not make them look cool? I understand practicality, blah, 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 but honestly, I don't play video games for realism. I don't think many people like to. It's cool to see her in a different light, and I liked the Tomb Raider games a lot, really. I was super invested in it once I got it going. But in the end, it's just like, if I had the body and I could cosplay as either classic Lara Croft or the new one, I would totally cosplay as classic, you know? It's just iconic. I don't feel like her outfit is iconic yet. I like it, but it doesn't stand out. You know, she's so practical that she looks like a rock climber, you know, that has makeshift weapons all around her, which is fine, but I don't know. I'm nitpicky like that. I really like Scott though as a director. Yeah, me too. It's critically flawed, it's an okay movie. As usual, I question the relevance of messing with old universe IP unless you're really sure you have something equal or more to add. In this case, they fell short, but I'm a stickler for creativity. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think it's just like, because it's just, I didn't watch a lot of the Alien movies leading up to it. Like, I've never seen Alien vs. Predator. I don't think I've ever seen a Predator movie. So I've only really seen like the original first two Alien movies, so I was expecting like that. So this kind of has like to me a completely different feel from those movies, which is at the beginning why I didn't really like it. It played with my expectations in a way that I wasn't really going for. But watching it again, it's just like I can really appreciate it on its own. It's like, alright, I could feel that it was just trying to like, I felt it was trying to add lore to the universe too, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. What is that? There's a lot of great art, that style and the art is great, but you just have to pass because the subjects aren't your thing. Yeah, that's true. That's why it's like I retracted it, saying, you know, just draw whatever you want. If this is your thing, it's your thing. It's just definitely not my thing. It's like, for me, like, style over substance has always been like a thing. Like, if I could dress super cool, or if I could own super cool things, even if there's no practicality to them, like, I would. And I kind of feel that way in design, too. But, yeah. That's just how I like my things. I think I just have a flair for, like, the Flash. I can't explain it just right. Yeah, I've never seen the Predator movies, I suck. But like Jill Valentine, right? Even though they revamped her outfit, well, they didn't revamp it. In the HD remake, her outfit was pretty much the same. But you know, they desaturated the colors and stuff. It's like, it's kind of like that whole thing I had with like Final Fantasy VII, how it changed, right? The characters used to look more anime, the colors used to be more brighter, and the silhouettes used to be more... The silhouette of the character was like very exact. I could tell the difference between, like, you know, a lot of the characters just based off just like their shape, which is really interesting considering that game's graphics, you know, when they're all chibi, they kind of have the same body type, but not really. Just little things here and there make them stick out. You like, but when you look at Advent Children, which still looks fine, there's nothing wrong with it. Since they all look more realistic and stuff like that, it's kind of just like, and the colors are more subdued, the characters just don't stick out as much to me. So it's just like, even though it's like, I personally, I didn't mind Advent Children. I didn't love it, but I watch it a lot from time to time just to see the animation and visuals, you know? I'm not a big Vincent Valentine fan, I'm not a big Cloud Strife fan, so... And it felt like those two were like the main characters, so that's why I didn't really follow it too closely. But I still watch that movie a lot. But, you know, it could just be my nostalgia playing on me. I feel like anime is almost the same way too. Like, no, actually no, it's still pretty flashy. It's just flashy in a different way. It's just flashy in a way that feels like, since I didn't grow up with it, I'm not super comfortable with it yet, so. Give her heels. Never seen the Predator movies? Yeah, I know. Okay, so Predator 1 is like, so that's something you gotta see. Your style, stuff you like. I just find it hard to believe that you dislike Predator. Well, I haven't seen Predator yet. Aliens vs. Predators is a main book series. It's an okay comic. They're the worst of the Alien or Predator movies by far. Really awful. One of my favorite comics I ever read was Alien vs. Predator vs. the Terminator. I loved it. In that comic, Ripley was like the chiefess of a predator tribe. She just dressed herself as a predator all the time and no one was none the wiser. No, I think like some select predators knew who she was, or maybe they all knew who she was, but she just kept on the head just to like look cool and intimidating. And I loved that comic. I just never got around to seeing the movies. I don't know why. I mean, they looked fun. I've seen scenes from Predator, but I've never seen all of Predator, so no. One of these days I'll see it. It's not like I don't like it. I just never... It's one of those things that I never got around to seeing. So... I should see it because it's Arnold in his prime, right? There's a lot of good movies I've never seen. AVPVT, hell yeah. Yeah, it's seriously one of my favorite comics. One of the best Predator comics ever is Predator vs. Batman. Ah, I've never actually read that. I know of it. Sometimes sometimes I really do like comics based on, maybe not the whole comic series, but I'll find like one book that I like from that. Like one of my favorite comics is a Star Wars comic. And it was when like episode 1 kind of came out. And the comic, its main boiling point was Darth Vader versus Darth Maul. And for some reason I just really, really liked it. Yeah, thanks for the host, Carol. Oh yeah, I've seen Blade Runner. I saw Blade Runner super late. Like, I was drawing this character that I made named Min, who had white puffy hair and she was very pale and tall, and everyone kept telling me, oh, she looks like this character from Blade Runner. Oh, she looks like this character from Blade Runner. I'm just like, I swear to God, I've never seen this character before. So I finally watched Blade Runner, and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, this movie is exactly what I've always wanted from a sci-fi story. I love Blade Runner now. It's like, it makes me cry.
Oh, for me?
It makes me super cry. But I saw it way late in the game. I saw it maybe 4 years ago. And people had been urging me to, like, you know, watch it for centuries now. But it feels like that. Thanks for the follow, Zeo Slur. I saw Blade Runner for the first time legitimately within the past few years, and I don't even care if it's typical, like, it's so amazing. Yeah, I know. Exactly, because it's like, I didn't realize what a cultural impact it kind of had. I kind of watched it, it's like, well, I know, like, people, I'll tell them I like sci-fi, and people are just like, oh, well then, fucking Blade Runner, yeah? And I'll be like, well, if I watch it, I'll let you guys know what I think. I watched it. I think it's super cool. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I saw the version that didn't have narration in it, though. Thanks, Ghostly Doski. I try to make them curvy as can be. Curvy as my stylist will allow me to. Sometimes I make them too curvy. I was really surprised with Blade Runner. I thought its story was like super sophisticated. I am one of those people where if a movie is old, I tend to not watch it. I'm one of those assholes. Like, if a movie looks too old, I tend to not watch it. It's nice when I see an old movie and it's aged so well that the older quality of it doesn't matter to me, right? It's like, for me, like The Wizard of Oz is something like that. It's just like, yeah, it's an old movie, but it holds up pretty well in terms of just design. Like, even though it's an older movie, it looks good. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's an old movie, still looks good. I mean, to me, I don't know what they did in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but my biggest problem with, like, CG movies is actors have a hard time making eye contact with things on screen. For some reason in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it came off pretty well done. I have no idea how they did it, what trickery they did to keep the eye contact so there, so you know. Oh, thanks, Ghostly Doski. That is super nice of you. Let's start adding stuff on this character. I'm gonna, like, put her gun here, but I'm gonna have, like, her sword kind of just, like, behind her. Like, it's just stuck in the ground by her. Not a good looking sword. Not my proudest sword. Maybe we can make it... We can put out something like that. I'll just put it next to her for now. We'll figure out what to do with it as we go. Let's see what you said here, Fifth Son. You have said a lot. I super need to read the book. Was Decker, or wasn't he? The movie is better than the book. The book is an idea. Oh, why do androids dream of electric sheep? Is that the name of the book? Because he was Mario. He was a toon himself. Ah, Rip Fred, you're right. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Main strokes, but the movie is so much better concentrated, yeah. Focused on it, super excited. Oh, for the new Blade Runner? Is that what you're showing me, Fifth Son? Yeah. I'm excited but apprehensive about it, Fifth Son, because all sequels, whatever remakes, have the potential to ruin what's already there. I guess not ruin it, but if it changes, if it retcons something in the original, I'm not gonna be too happy, unless it's a good retcon. Thanks for the follow, Ibonawibo. Ibonawibu. Sorry if I said that wrong. What device am I using? Wacom. Oh, this is actually I have to update my tools. I'm using a Cintiq 22 HD tablet. I recently got it this weekend, so I've set it all up. This whole week has been me testing out this new tablet, so it's been pretty fucking amazing. And I'm using Photoshop Creative Cloud, so yeah. I've got the drawing tablet, still struggling with a bit. How long have you been using a drawing tablet, Ghostly Doski? Because I'll tell you, you're gonna struggle for a while, and I'm not saying that because I doubt your skills, but anyone, if they're using a tablet and they don't use it like 4 hours a day at the least, it's gonna be a struggle for a while. Warhammer Dark's trailers, they're pretty terrible about giving all the good shit away in like 8 seconds or less. Yeah, okay, I'll watch a teaser trailer, Rip Rad, but the closer it gets to a movie coming out, I will not watch a trailer. Like, I've stopped watching trailers for Logan. You know, I don't want to see it. I heard enough about it. I hear they're super cool, but I don't want it to spoil anything. Those Ghostbuster trailers, like the second Ghostbuster trailer, alright, that movie, whatever, didn't look cool. But the second trailer definitely was like, alright, I know everything that's gonna happen. Like, so now there's absolutely no incentive for me to watch this. You know? All of Asimov's stuff kind of suffers in my eyes, if only because it is a product of the time when he wrote them. Did you not like the movie I, Robot with Will Smith, Fifth Son? Because, hey, as far as adaptations go, that one made me want to kill myself. I don't even know if that was an adaptation. I think they just liked the name I, Robot, to be honest. I don't think that was actually supposed to be a, Wait, was it based off one of his stories? I don't think it was, right? My favorite short story from Asimov is when the robot realizes, hey, I could just kill people, but I'm not like you, I'm better than that. When he realizes that he's not going to die like a human, like he won't get old or sick like a human, and then he's just like, it's like, fuck you, I'm better than you. But he chooses to take the high road, I guess. Or maybe it's because of like the robot's programming. It's like, I can't hurt a human, but I know you're a weak little bitch. Can't hurt you, but I can still trash talk you. 2 years, but I got used to it. I'm planning to upgrading and getting a new one with a mirror screen. Alright. I will say, Ghostly Doski, I used to draw on a tablet with no screen for the longest time, and as long as you're super used to that, switching to a screen, it's going to be a little weird at first, but it's going to be pretty rewarding. 2 years sounds like a pretty good time to, like, start upgrading your stuff, especially if you've been using it for a while, so, yeah, if you make the leap, let me know how it goes. That was just an announcement video. It's mostly just long shots of environments. Okay. Came here because Jazza host, nice thing you got going here. Oh, thanks, Zero Slur. I appreciate it. I'm doing a commission sketch for, Grandfather Nurgle. Best sci-fi in my opinion is Herbert. That dude's concepts for math and science are brain-boggling. I have to see that, Dear Dog. I have heard of that, though. Hello, chat. I'm late and missed the last two, but I've been sleep-deprived for a week. Oh, well, thanks for coming by, Aaron Chris. I got a new tablet, and I'm using it. That's why I have a new angle. It's so big, and my desk is so small, I can only draw it when it's propped up. So, when I had my webcam up here, it was just getting me right in the face, and I always thought that was pretty boring. It's so much more cool to see the artists actually work on this stuff. You know, that way you guys can't think I'm cheating and I'm just talking over pre-lapsed video, you know? Pre-lapsed. Gross. Why did I say that? Pre-recorded video. No more calling me a phony like you guys are known to do. Like you guys are never known to do. Because you guys are really super cool to me, so thank you. But also, thanks to you guys, I'm able to get this set up. It's really just because I feel like getting a lot of streaming on here regularly has kind of helped me with just my art stuff overall. So, it's really nice and motivating to be excited to stream. Talk about sci-fi stuff, talk about art shit, and drawing art shit. My favorite thing. If you guys missed it, earlier I was drawing a little warm-up sketch, and that was this girl right here, kind of like a little chibi style Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy IX kind of knight girl. Her theme was roses. So I went from like a kind of cute, cartoony, stocky look, and now I'm going back to something a little more adultish. My favorite. Hey, average height individual. I'm pretty sure iRobot. Yeah, iRobot was a collection of short stories, but the movie was just, it seemed like one long story. Like, I don't think it... Did it follow, like, one of the stories from iRobot, though? That's just what I'm wondering. I don't think I read them all. I only read, iRobot, like, in school, so I only remember the stuff that I remember from that, so... Smith is the Fresh Prince of ruining book-to-movie adaptations, I'm pretty sure. He did Wild Wild West, but wasn't Wild Wild West a TV show, or was it a book? He created laws of robotics, then wrote stories about how the laws would be broken. Ah. 3 Laws of Robotics were featured in nearly all of his famous stuff. I Am Legend was like, it was, again, an awesome book, and stories with the impact has almost zero correlation. Even like the whole impact of the name I Am Legend was destroyed in the movies. Yeah, they should have just called it Omega Man, right? He never said the line, I am legend. Yeah, I got a new tablet. Yeah, I need a new desk. I'm looking online for some cheap desks I could put together really quick. It's just that I need to lay this flat. Ergonomically, it's not good to draw like this without a rest on your arm. It'll give you like carpal tunnel. I don't know. It'll give me problems down the line. My left hand? Oh, my left hand, I have this this little number pad is my hotkeys. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a little Razer Nostromo pad, and that lets me do like a bunch of Photoshop stuff off the fly, like that. You know, I can quickly like press the wrong button and then open the liquefy menu. But that's what that does. So, yeah. Thanks, Aaron Chris. I think she's a cutie too. Oh yeah, aren't they gonna remake Dune? Maybe they could do Jodorowsky's Dune now. Now that like technology is the way it is, Jodorowsky's Dune would be cool. I mean, it'd be weird, but it'd be visually a feast for the eyes. I'm like 90% sure you're actually just pretending to draw and just syncing up your movement to the video. Damn it! Average height. Well, you know what? You're gonna have to prove that. I'm really good at lip syncing. I'm trying really hard here, you guys. Alright, I think, I gotta draw her gun. How am I gonna draw this thing? Guns are like the weirdest thing. No. Thank you. Go Jackson or go home, make it his, go all the way, take over New Zealand for a decade or get the fuck out. Oof. Now that I know that, I feel the need to make you aware of some illustrations. What's this, Fifth Son? Oh, Dune. It's a good idea. I have one of those things too. I don't know how I missed that. I'd have to start the expanded Dune over. Jodorowsky. Ooh, I like that image. Even, like, I don't know. I kind of like photo... I don't know if it's a photo mashup or if it's just, like, whatever. I'm not really super big on the white spatter effect too much, but I don't know. I kind of like the comic eyes. That's just me, though. I have this on the wall in my living room. Now that is a movie poster. It always reminds me of Silent Hill 3. Ah, I dig it. You got good taste, Sif Son. I just have a bunch of anime crap all over. Oh, I have like some Blizzard stuff too, but I love it. So. No one takes you seriously when you have anime on your walls. Hey, Nurgle. Would it make you crazy mad if I just gave her 2 daggers? Or were you really set on that gun? Let me know. Were you married to the idea of a gun? If anything, I'll just put it on her waist then. This dubstep of the submarine song. I love it. By the way, for everyone who's come to the stream, thank you so much for joining the stream. If you're an artist yourself, feel free to post any art you've worked on during the week. I like talking about art. I like sharing art. If you guys feel like sharing art yourself, do not be shy. Please do not send links to a virus. That wouldn't be cool. I just got this computer. That would suck. If anyone has any questions about anything at all, I'll try my best to answer them. Is this what that gun is? Nah, this gun is different. This gun is, you guys get to see how bad I am at drawing guns. So it's just like any other Friday. I don't mind it is in your hands. I just send them images for references and armor. Anime. Can't do gunshot skills with 2 daggers. Yeah. I know, Rip Red. I shouldn't take the coward's way out. She has a gun, she's getting a gun. Pew pew pew. So maybe I should put like her hands like this again. Pew pew. I think I'll just put it up here like she's got it holstered. And that takes care of that. Hope you guys like Final Fantasy music for everyone new here. For context of the first picture. Alright, let's check it out, Fifth Son. One of my favorite, I have like some vintage video game posters up on my wall. I used to get OPM magazine or something, and I have like a Resident Evil 2 poster that came with one of the, it was either Electronic Gaming Monthly or official PlayStation. Resident Evil 2 poster, which is badass, and I also have a Silent Hill 3 poster, which I think came with either one of the magazines, I believe OPM, or the Brady Games strategy guide, but seeing how the folds are small on it, I think it came with a magazine. Thank you for the link. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, so it is. Alright, gotcha. Having your arm like how your painting will hurt your wrist, how should you have your arm so it doesn't hurt your wrist? Painting like this, it's good in the long run, but if you're doing like art for work or you're drawing for work, if your hand doesn't have any support, it's kind of like gravity is always pulling down on it, and even though you don't notice it, as the years go by, it's always going to have like that thing. Like if you're always constantly working against gravity, even for something as mundane as drawing, you're probably going to get closer to developing arthritis or carpal tunnel and stuff. That's why like when you see people when they put the little cushion underneath their wrist against their mouse, even that much does a lot to help alleviate that stress of your hand kind of just like fighting gravity, right? So even though it's good, like you see painters when they paint, you know, they take breaks and stuff, you know? But if you're constantly like doing graphic design for a job like me, it's better to like, see, I'm kind of like, I have this like, I'm kind of resting my elbow up on my chair, but I'm not making full use of this so much. I kind of do, but yeah, that's just what I heard. One of my friends, like Ants, is like an ergonomic inspector or something. She checks to make sure if a workspace is like, you know, good for your posture, good for whatever, to help, you know, employees not, you know, risk back problems or neck problems or arm problems and stuff like that. And that's what I heard. So because I heard that, and you know, it's kind of true. I mean, that's why you kind of have to like take breaks and stop drawing for a little bit or just like rest your arms. That goes a long way. So, yeah. Would you host me one day if I gathered courage to set up and stream myself drawing? Yeah, why not, Ghostly Doki? I put anyone on my host list. No, I'm kidding. If you want to share some art, Ghostly Doki, just to see what you draw like, I wouldn't mind that. I want to see what I'm getting into here. But I'm trying to find more people to put on my auto-host list so that when I'm not here, people get hosted, so yeah. I mean, why not? I need to reach out more to the Twitch community, and I'm always looking for more artists to, like, you know, connect with. Thanks for asking. Can I share a drawing that I just finished? Go for it, Pokety. You're testing a brush pen. How did that go? Brush pens are very hit or miss with me. Sometimes I love them. Most of the times I hate them. I guess they're not hit or miss. I guess they're usually like an 80% dislike ratio. Final Fantasy music is good. I need 0G water chamber for my drawing hand. Yeah, huh? Wouldn't that be awesome? Alright, sorry, I was talking a lot. Back to this fine young lady. More Final Fantasy VIII music. This is my night. combine all these. Gonna flip around. If you guys notice, I kind of flip around the sketch a lot as I'm drawing. I do that to check to make sure that things are looking consistent. And I tend to draw in a certain direction better than the other. I don't know why. I'm better at drawing things like this. So if I had to do that, I'd more likely flip the screen over so that I can do that just the other way. It's hard for me to draw a curve going right. It's easier for me to draw a curve going left. I don't know why. It's more comfortable. Some people are just better at drawing out and some are better at drawing in. I know, like, I don't know. It's really weird, but it's so true. Like, when I used to do inking, I was really good at doing lines away from me, right? But when it came to doing a line to me, I would always overshoot it. But when I was drawing lines going away from me, I always nailed it a lot better. I have no idea why. Some people are like that. Let's see what you got, Pokeri Mio. What you got? Ooh, I like that. Almost reminds me of Hellsing. Using Faber-Castell? I actually like Faber-Castell. I know some people go like, whatever, it's just like college stuff, but I like it better than certain microns, you know? Because it has like that kind of like really brushy look. Not the darkest look, but when you're going for brushy, I've never really went for dark, so yeah. How do I feel with the Cintiq 22 versus the Companion? I'll say this, the Companion was super duper convenient. Like, it was so convenient. I just turned it on and I could start drawing right away. Setting up the Cintiq was took a little more elbow grease, took a little more doing. But because I'm not, you know, I used to stream on my Companion, and the people here will tell you, my stream would not run smoothly ever. Maybe for streaming, maybe for almost a whole year, maybe like a handful of those streams would actually not shut down on me and stuff, right? So the biggest, nicest thing about this 22 HD whatever that I'm drawing on is that I actually have it hooked up to a pretty powerful computer, you know? Which I built from money I gathered from streaming and from just buying stuff like almost on sale whenever I can, right? So even though it's not the super top of the line gaming PC, because a gaming PC is good for drawing and good graphics card and stuff like that, I used parts that my friends were no longer using, but it wasn't the oldest parts from what I know. I'm not a huge computer person, so I'm not exactly sure of everything I got. I had a lot of help from my boyfriend and my other friends who also has a gaming PC he builds himself, so I like this setup a lot mainly because I have a tower that's competing with keeping up with this. I have no idea if I would like this tablet as much if I didn't have a good computer behind it. But the Cintiq Companion, it's a really good piece of hardware all on its own. Like, it's such a breeze to work with. I had the first generation of Cintiq Companion. I know now there's a second one, it might be a little lighter, so maybe it'll be easier on that. But yeah, decent size. This is the first time I've drawn on like a tablet this big, so I feel like I'm not utilizing its space so much. So I feel, because when I'm drawing by myself, I'm just drawing like this big that I'm used to in a little corner. I'm always like this. And when I was first streaming on this, you kind of see me drawing this corner. So now I'm kind of getting used to like bigger dimensions and getting used to using my whole arm as I draw, you know? It's kind of cool. It's really cool, actually. I shouldn't downplay this at all. It took me a long time to save up money to get this far, so. How are you liking the tool? I haven't tried those yet. Blah, blah. It's scary because you have to be pretty steady. Yeah, brush pens are not for this trembly hands. You gotta get used to that. But that's all something that could be easily fixed with discipline, you know? Just, yeah, disciplining yourself to have a steady hand is awful. I have such a heavy hand, you know? So I always have to adjust the brush settings on Photoshop so that I'm not digging into my tablet. I've destroyed tablets in the past by doing that, so be careful. My poor tablets, if you could see it, so many scratch marks and chips because of my stupid fat hands. Just going to town, just... I'll tell you one thing about Wacom. Their customer service is not on point. They're really good products, but you take damn good care of that freaking thing. Because if it ever gets broken, whew, dealing with customer service and stuff is just not fun. I've had better, but whatever. Long story short, I missed out on like almost 3 months of work because I was trying to get my Cintiq fixed, and they kept sending me broken ones, refurbished ones, and I was just like, dude, I paid for a new one, no offense, but if you're gonna replace it and you can't give me a new one to replace the one I just bought, at least test it. It felt like they weren't even testing it at one point, so whatever. I shouldn't badmouth Wacom. That was one experience, that was one lone experience. Everything else has been fine. Her knife looks like a boot. Shit, I agree. Let's, I almost want to make it like kind of curvy. I don't know why. There we go, less booty. More curvy though. Put little rings. I actually really like this song for Final Fantasy 13. Like, 13, not my favorite Final Fantasy by a long shot, but it had some pretty good music, I thought. I can tolerate playing a game longer than I usually would if it looks good and it sounds good, and 13 fit that criteria, sadly. Gonna go in and kind of just detail the sketch a bit more. I'm hoping to finish the sketch by the time this stream's over, because this is a commission for Grandfather Nurgle. Actually, her head is a little tall, although she is a tall figure. Let's see what we can do. Rips were a feature of the stream. I know, Faya. Now it's gonna be my signature. Yeah, it's an Italian knife. Less booty. Booty needs to be a bit lower than the knife, obviously. Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Show backdrop. What the hell? Show mask. Show image. What is all that? This is the first time I've opened this in this Photoshop.
Now that's teamwork.
Sorry. You don't need to see me bumbling around. Just make her head a little more manageable. Ooh, thanks for the host, Pokeri Neo. I dig it. I dig all the help I can get. Actually, I'm gonna use this brush. That other one's just like a little too pointy for my taste right now. At least in this stage, so. Actually, since you guys know how I feel about games like that, it's like I can tolerate a game if its graphics and music is good, even if I don't like the game itself. I can find myself playing it longer. Are you guys the same? Or if a game is terrible, no matter how it looks, do you just stop playing and get it out of there? Because I just feel like, because for me, style is really a big factor to things that I like. I have a lot more tolerance for things that look pretty if they don't necessarily play well. Now, I understand a game, first and foremost, should be a game, and graphics come second, but if a game is like too ugly, it's hard for me to pay attention and play it. And I know I'm missing out on a lot of games that way, but I can't help it. My mind is stimulated by certain looks. Because I do have friends that have just like, no, it's graphics that I pay attention to, and I have some friends that's just like, you don't need graphics, it just needs to be a good game. So I kind of want to hear your guys' consensus, you know? When's corner drawing emote? Yeah, I know. Was I drawing in a corner? I'm sorry. I guess I'm gonna have to get that one out soon. Is this the Ragnarok? Let me just see the song. Yeah, it's the Ragnarok. Cool. It's one of my favorite airships in Final Fantasy. It looks like a dragon. It's so fucking cool. The story pulls me through it. Hello, auspicious trickster. Thanks for coming by. Depends on the game, but yeah, I feel the same way. I like it better if it plays good. I've played Dogma for 4 years because of the combat. Alrighty. I'm definitely influenced by art style. I watch shows a lot longer if I like the visuals. Games not so much, but I get frustrated with games more. If the controls are bad, I don't have patience. Yeah, that was my whole deal with The Last Guardian. Like, I love that game overall, but those controls were not their finest moment. And for me, Shadow of the Colossus played so well. To have the controls deteriorate so badly, I was like, they've already shown characters that can climb on large moving creatures. Why is it so hard for this fucking kid to climb on this fucking dog thing? I was getting so pissed at The Last Guardian. I love it, don't get me wrong, but the controls just felt delayed, like floaty. Like the kid only had 2 running speeds, either really fast or not moving at all. It was so hard. And I needed, you know, in that game you kind of needed precision to get Trico to listen to you. You need to put things in certain spaces for him to really listen to you, or you had to stand in certain places for him to really see what you're going at. So for me, for such a precise game, I really wish they had a little better control. But overall, again, I love that game. I feel like the ending really made up for a lot of it, like, whatever. And I just like that style of gameplay, so. But boy, was I getting mad. That game could have been a lot more smoother. And I just hate when a game like that that's so atmospheric, a game that's so, like, immersive, that obviously wants you to experience this world through... Their previous games are very atmospheric. They don't tell you what to do. Another strike against The Last Guardian. It felt like a tutorial mode throughout the whole game because they kept showing me button prompts, which is dumb. But, you know, you already know what I think about that. But still, they didn't tell me how to solve the puzzles, which was nice. One of my favorite Final Fantasy songs. Well, the beginning of it. It gets a little stupid later on. You guys will see what I mean. For me, I play games, it's like Forrest Gump. It's like Forrest Gump running at some point. I just kind of go, wow, not having fun, and put it down. Never really stop to think about what I don't like. I see. I can never successfully lurk. I always like these topics. Sorry, auspicious trickster. Blade and Soul was beautiful, with great jiggle physics and amazing PvP. Otherwise, though, it was just a grindy WoW clone with an anime skin. Overall, needs to be solid gunplay and longevity. I did buy the Touch one, Gecko CG, because it was only like 150 bucks more. And if I'm already shelling out like 1,800 for a tablet, I might as well just make it an even 2,000, just because whatever. Which is funny because now that I have it with Touch, it's Touch capable, but I don't want to put my grubby fingers on it yet because it's new, so I haven't used the Touch really. So, yeah. Because I will say that was the one thing that sucked about the Cintiq Companion. It was really cool to touch and move everything over, but really wash your screen, not wash it obviously, but use the right, you know, the right wipes and stuff to like clean your screen, because those oils and grime, it builds up and it makes it difficult to draw. It makes squeaky noises after a while, and those are never fun. Just makes it feel like you're scratching the shit out of your computer, and you kind of are, so. So there's that. Actually, this song's gonna get really good in this for a second. Or I guess I just like this kind of stuff in games. When the piano does this. It sounds all mystical for a second. It's like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, like my surroundings. It's like, look at these cool magical effects. Whoa. Oh man. You know what, things aren't so bad. Oh wait, actually they kind of are, never mind. Alright, back to the grind. I love Final Fantasy boss music. They always go through these stages of action, action, horror, fantasy, magically. Alright, back to action. But music like that, it keeps you invested in a long boss fight. You know, it's just like, alright, if the music isn't stale, it kind of goes through several motions. Cool, it can't all be grim and gloomy the whole time. I mean, it could be. But for a final boss fight, you know, it's gotta be a little more. This isn't the final boss fight, but it's one of the final boss fights, so. Actually, I'm not a big fan of the Final Fantasy IX final boss fight music. 7 and 8 I was, though. And 13 I was. So... that's just my opinion, man. Hello, DFX ROM. How's it going? I'm also ashamed to admit I play Star Wars The Old Republic, which I'm pretty sure I only like for lightsaber sounds. Huh. I've never really played Knights of the Old Republic or Old Republic anyways. Oh, this is your favorite Final Fantasy IX theme? Yeah. Do I have a second? Yeah, I do have a second monitor. If I turned my camera, but I don't want to because I have the angle just how I want it, and it's kind of on top of a stack of books. I don't want to knock my camera over. I have a main monitor right here, which I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at a theme. I could show you like the what I'm looking at. Now this is all one thing. This is the reference I was using. Yeah. So I never look at reference for the pose. These are all the references I had. I kind of just look at the reference to like draw like clothes and stuff like that. Because I always like, you know, if you're drawing and you want to use reference, I always say don't bust out the reference till later. Because I'm one of those people where if I see it, I'll start drawing that exact pose, that exact angle. So I try to avoid that by drawing the whole character first and then like, you know, adding the stuff later. These are all just reference things. He didn't say to choose one completely, so I'm kind of making a mix of all the outfits that I have of her, so. Oh god, touch. I prefer 16-bit graphics though, so often people consider good graphics as a detriment in my eyes. Aw, thanks for stopping by, DFX ROM. I'm almost done with your commission, by the way. I've been like really busting at it with this new tablet, so I've been able to get the details a little better than I normally would have been. Sorry. There we go. Almost done here with this one. Then we could draw other things. How would I do this boot? Guess I could do that. Also, one of my favorite video games is Final Fantasy Rhythm Theater, which is just all the Final Fantasy music just as a rhythm game, so. I'm a stickler for music. Rhythm games are actually one of my favorite genres ever. I have a lot of fond memories growing up playing Jammer Lammy and Guitar Man. And Busta Groove 2. Those are actually, Busta Groove 2 actually shaped a lot of my early art style, so it's kind of funny. I don't know if anyone played Busta Groove 1, but which was pretty cool, but if anyone ever played Busta Groove 2, that's the one I actually owned, and I drew so much fan art of Shorty and Comet and Kitty Ann. Busta Groove. Give a little dimple in the mouth there. Give her a little smile. She's like, heh heh. Smile, pussycat. I don't know. I love when, I don't know, that's one of my favorite things in board. Just talking to those ladies. Anyways. Ooh, more Final Fantasy IX music of my favorite character. I agree about boss music. Constant gloom and horror is psychologically tough, but the interludes can line up with those moments when you're taking a break from attacking. Yeah, exactly. So it's nice. It keeps you invested. Knights of the Old Republic was awesome this time. Star Wars, The Old Republic, not so much. Yeah. Did you try Crypt of the Necrodancer? You can totally use your own music. It's pretty fun. No, I haven't tried that. It sounds awesome. I have tried Audio Surf. I like Audio Surf because one of my favorite Atari games was Tempest, and it kind of reminds me of Tempest, but with music. And I like Audio Surf. Yeah. I haven't played that in a while, though. Maybe I should reinstall it. Now that I'm into Vocaloid, Audio Surf must be pretty nuts. And I love Freya. She's one of my favorite Final Fantasy girls. I wish Final Fantasy had a... Well, I think it does do that now again. It's got animal people in it again. I don't know, for some reason 9's atmosphere was so cool. Like, there was animal people. Like, I don't know why that looks so cool to me when there's animal people in a game. Because I didn't realize that's what I really liked, you know? Because I kind of liked that in Final Fantasy X. Previously, my first Final Fantasy was Final Fantasy VIII, which pretty much only had humans. I don't count the Shuma, or whatever they're called. They're gross. The long-fingered people. Final Fantasy VII was mostly humans. I mean, you had the ancients or whatever, but they looked like human. But Final Fantasy IX had, you know, hippo people, had cat people, had bird people, had all this shit. And then Final Fantasy X had the Ronzo and the Guado. Yeah, and 13 had just people again. And for some reason, the world feels a lot richer when you have, like, different species, not just humans, but it's just like, okay, it's cool you have black people, it's cool you have Asian people, it's cool you have white people, but it's really cool. It's like, oh man, this is a snake man. Oh man, this is like a flamingo girl. It's like, you just have, like, different, you know, species. It just looks cool. Yeah, Tempest. Final Fantasy main character I hated. A main character that I hated? I hated Lightning. I don't like her. I love how she looks. I liked her at the end of Final Fantasy XIII when she got her groove back, but for the most part I didn't like her. I thought she was unfun. I thought she had no sense of humor. I just thought she wasn't fun to be around. Her design is super cool. I love her voice, but to this day she is my least favorite main character. I don't like her. Everyone else in 13. The only person in 13 I hated more than Lightning was Vanille. Vanille and Hope. Actually, Hope. Vanille I didn't hate as much as Hope or Lightning, but I sure hated Hope and Vanille. I mean, yes, I did hate them, but I didn't hate them as much as I hated Lightning. For some reason, I just don't like her. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy 12. See, I need to play Final Fantasy 12. I didn't play enough of 12 to get a good read on any of the characters. Like, they were all like, in my opinion, no one really stood out to me. But I didn't... that's a game I have to play again, you know? Alright, let's do a quick silhouette behind this character. Throw some quick color on her, and then this sketch will be done. Favorite character from Final Fantasy IX is Beatrix. She is my favorite. She's like one of my top faves. Beatrix and Freya, they're right up there with like my favorite female characters and just favorite characters in general. Like, Beatrix just, oh, she just looked so cool, you know? And I thought she was way more badass to play than, like, you know, previously I had played Final Fantasy VIII. And you know how in those Final Fantasy games, I'm sure a lot of games do this, but in Final Fantasy you get control of a temporary character who's super, like, they're a boss character or they're going to be a boss character, and they're super powerful, right? Like, Beatrix just felt so freaking handy. It's just like, damn, like, she was awesome. Like, yeah, controlling Seymour, whatever. Controlling Edea, fine. She wasn't that cool. Controlling Sephiroth, like, that was really cool too. But for some reason, I feel like because with Beatrix, maybe because she's a Goyle, maybe because she's very pretty, I was so happy when I got control of her and she played, like, she was so freaking strong, you know? I was like, oh my god, why doesn't she rule Alexandria? But whatever. She was super cool. I loved controlling her. She felt like exactly what an OP character should feel like. I got a taste of her power, but it was never like, I never got tired of it. I loved her limit break. I love how, I don't know, I love her music. She's a cutie patootie. She's great.
Now that's teamwork.
I wish she was the main character of a Final Fantasy. Hope I despise with passions unimaginable to man. Ooh, thanks for the host, Art of TK. I have to get going. Alright, DFX Ron, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure to have you. I always got rid of Vana and I had my party as Bosch, Fran, and the twin brother guy. Beatrix was an OP paladin. Yeah, she was. She was insane. I loved her. Oh my gosh. Succession of Witches. Another song I love. Alright, now that we have a silhouette behind her, I can leave this here. If anyone's wondering what that girl is there, she was a warm-up sketch I had earlier. Gonna make this white. Alright, gonna take overlay. If you guys want to see what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take an overlay. It's just something I like to do lately. Hang on a sec. Holy shit, it's raining outside. I hope I closed the windows on my car. Sorry, I think I closed them. Oh god, do I hope I closed them. I mean, if I left them open, they'd be open or crack, and it probably wouldn't do much, but, you know. One worries. I like to, pretty much what I like to do is I like to use an overlay of blues and, you know, of warm colors and cool colors, orange and blue being the easiest go-to. And visually, I just like the way it looks, so, you know. I just like it. Sue me. Like, even though this is just a sketch, I always want, like, my art to stand out, you know, in a way that's, like, good. Well, not in a way that's good. Not to say that, like, sketches that don't have color isn't good, but I guess what I'm getting at here is, like, color catches people's eye, right? And because of that, I tend to want to put some color on my sketches to just advertise. It's like, here's what my sketches look like. I'm open for business, you know? So, I would never say give a colored sketch to a client. If you can do it really quickly, kind of like what I'm trying to do right here, just like to add like a quick effect, go for it, which isn't going to cost you any time, really. Probably just a little more time anyways that you would have just spent doing, you know, just extra scratches and stuff. So, I don't know. Sometimes people like to see people go a little step beyond. I can't recommend it. This is just something I personally like to do. And I'm creating a little bit more work for myself, but in the end, I like the image that I have, and to me, it's still a sketch. I have some artist friends who have a problem with that, and I understand. It's like, yeah, technically it's like I'm going a little bit above and beyond, but I can't help it. I like the way this looks. I want everything that I put out there to be something I like, you know? If it just takes a little bit of dressing up with something like this, so be it. Maybe I could change it. Get super. Maybe I can make the reds. Maybe make it a little pink. Anyways, yeah, maybe you should go check that. I think I closed it. I always just open it just a little crack, and the rain isn't so hard that it's gonna do damage to my car. Like the Chibi Night Peach, at some point I need to get someone to do that style for me. Alright. Well, I'm someone that can do that. For money. I'm just putting it out there. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Also what I do is I take one more overlay layer, and I'll just choose like a color that's kind of like a mix between, usually a purple, and I mess with like its opacity, or its usually I tend to mess with the fill more than the opacity, and I don't know, that kind of just gives it a little more grounded. A little green, a little red, a little blue. Let's keep it at purple, and I'm gonna do one more thing, and this is clearly me going above and beyond. Then a rough sketch, right? Just add a little darkness. as being Festus. I know the score. I like that word, dear dog. You've used it twice. Sorry to sound like a bumpkin. I don't know what it means, but it sounds cool. But I can't tell if you're making fun of me or not. Big words intimidate me. And I kind of like doing stuff just to like separate things from the background to foreground details a bit. You know, it kind of gives a little layer to the hair. Oh my god, I missed the intro to my favorite song ever. I can't believe it. This is like my favorite boss theme ever. Final Fantasy VIII. I wish I could animate like a loop of the characters fighting to this song. And because you have this blue and purple underneath you, when I put in the black, I'm just putting black right now, just normal at 100% opacity. It just brings out colors, you know, because I put a whole overlay layer everywhere. And I like it. Erase some of that a bit. But if anything, I want to show you guys when I do stuff like this that it's easy to put like just like a little something extra. Even though it does take a little more time, it's not hard to do. I don't know. But at the same time, don't waste your time. I do this because I personally like it. Don't feel you guys have to do this. What I consider a sketch is a little different than what other people interpret as a sketch sometimes. It's a little too much, so I'm going to erase away some of it. But for me, it's better to go too much and pull back than just do too little and go like, well, I don't know what else to do, you know? Like this one, I should have done this. A little bit of separation and yeah. Ooh, I kind of like it inverted like that a bit, because her skin is kind of bluish. Just blues and reds, but just straight up to it. Anyways, how do you think of so many outfit ideas? They're like at fashion magazines? I do. I used to subscribe to Teen Vogue. I watched America's Next Top Model and the show where they make clothes. The show where the guy says, make it work. Not Star Trek, The Next Generation. Above and beyond. I was being cheeky. Okay, gotcha. Facetus, cheeky. Face, cheek. I got it. you also like Final Fantasy Tactic, I think it's the best Tactic games ever. Love the story, the mechanics, and the characters. I've personally never played Tactics. I used to own a copy, but that was back when I couldn't read well. I was a little kid, so I gave it away like a fool. But I love the art of Final Fantasy IX. Actually, it's the same artist that did Final Fantasy Tactics. I think the artist also did the art for Final Fantasy IX, which is one of my favorite art books ever, actually. I have it right here. He's like a huge influence on like everything that I draw. I believe it's the or one of the same artists from Final Fantasy Tactics, but he just sounds like such a good, like, I don't know, trying to find a good picture. Like, I like shapes like that. That's kind of like why I did draw that Night Girl. I don't know if you even saw that. What am I doing? This camera is not like, I don't have autofocus. But I love the art and the music from Final Fantasy IX. Years later, I wish I still had that game. I had it when it didn't have the green stripe on it. It wasn't a greatest hits version of Tactics. It was like the version of Tactics for the PlayStation. And I wish I got into it and played it. I regret that now, but what can you do? And you see me, like, this is a lot of time just like toggling between options here. Just trying to find like a good mix, I guess you could say. I think that's good enough for now, I believe. This is the part in Final Fantasy VIII where Quistis is like, I love you, Cloud. And he's like, nah. But I do wish I could play Tactics again. I should probably just buy that on PlayStation Network. Facetious. Damn it. Facetious. Facetious. It means like being cheeky by saying something obviously fake or misleading. That's also the only word in the English language that has A, E, I, O, U in order. Well, the more you know. Little blue lipstick. I'm gonna put a little blue back here to make this like a... I don't know. This seems kind of cool. Sometimes I just do things because I think it'll look cool. I never passed color theory, should be obvious, but sure like playing with color. School's for fools anyways. Am I right? And that was this stream. Hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna give a little outer glow to the lines. Just kind of makes the pic look a little nicer to me. I don't know why. I'm gonna lower the opacity. Giving a slight glow to the lines just makes everything look a little nice and hazy. Here it is without the glow. Really crisp. Here it is with the glow. A little more blurry. Maybe I'll mess with it just a little bit more. But it kind of just adds a nice soft quality to the image overall. I'll just make the size just a little. Just a little. And I'll go back to white. And then I'll do some of this. She has like a tattoo up here, I noticed. Make it red. Red looks nice. Also looks more deliberate that way to me. Yeah, I'll call this sketch done. The sketch is dunzos. How much time do I have left? I have an hour. When will this night end? I'm just kidding. Who followed? Thanks for the follow, Art Stuff. Art's got the stuffs. Alright guys, so wrapping up that commission, that was a sketch commission for Grandfather Nurgle. I hope you like how this Dark Elder Witch came out. I hope I said that right. I might have said things wrong. But I had a lot of fun drawing her. I started off the stream by drawing a little kind of chibi, I had a sketch jam theme for my artist channel called War of the Roses, so I drew like a kind of rosy kind of knight. And then we kicked off another thing by doing a sketch commission for Grandfather Nurgle. He requested some Dark Elder Witch, and that was really fun. Hello, art stuff. So for my last hour, I do want to keep the night theme going, because I did title the stream Friday Nights. So what would I do? I'll just draw another, I'll draw another night. Why not? Nights are fun. Hello, I am Dead. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for coming to the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen to Ares' theme, The Sweet Stylings of the Church in Midgar. I am excited to see how